Okay, so this is an OG. This is mystery, people. If you guys don't know about him, it's very easily to judge him by just the way he looks, the way he dresses. But he is pretty much a psychologist, not certified, but pretty much a psychologist. I don't know how the fuck he learned this. I don't know how the hell he learned to do this during that time, by the way. But we're gonna learn some real shit, and hopefully you guys like it.
You know, what a woman says and how they respond are two entirely different things.
I mean,
There are specific hardwired signals that you are evolutionarily calibrated to demonstrate when there is a man of high value in proximity to you. They are touching of the hair, subconscious, thank you.
that's not evolutionary.
They are, it is, it's hardwired. It is, if they scratch here, no.
Shut up. Shut up.
Nope,
Nope.
nope.
Nope. Nope.
Again, what a woman
Nope.
says and how they respond are two different things. I could be wrong, you know, who knows? I did speak about the science of social dynamics at MIT, but I could be wrong. So another one of them is scratching here, and even scratching here.
Why here?
Isn't that weird? It comes from ape days. If you can demonstrate that you need to be groomed, and there is a male 5 to 8 feet, yeah, it's a hardwired. What'll happen is you'll actually get itchy. And
I'm gonna watch out for that.
you should watch out for that. But of course, if you're attracted to the
As
man,
you can see, Night, she says, I'm going to watch out for that. Can you guys notice how women guard their inner world? Honestly, people don't want you to know what they're thinking. And if you're able to predict what people think, if you're able to read what's going on inside of their minds, you can pretty much like maneuver your way into situations that you wouldn't otherwise. For example, it's like understanding when a woman is not interested values more than when a woman is interested, because you get played, you lose most of your energy when you chase things that don't want you, right? And sometimes women use that just to fuck with you. They get you to chase just because it validates them. Because they have low self-esteem and they want someone to worship them, right? So women are very keen on hiding those signs. But the problem is that when they like a guy, they can't control that. It's an evolutionary thing. Their animal side comes out. Their inhibition goes away. They start to do and act in ways that's outside of character. Better yet, they start to act more like themselves. Because really, notice that she said, "I don't want you to see this," was because they're trying to fake it. They're trying to show more confidence. When in reality, a lot of the times they're really attractive, but they just hide it, right? But let's keep listening.
you're going to want to scratch anyway, right? And it's old school. It's really old school. Does that mean I'm going to go over there and scratch her and start picking the
Please don't.
lice off her out of her hair? No, but there is a sequence of events that take place. Here's how it works. Man goes into a public gathering by himself or with a couple buddies. Does he grab drinks with his buddies, walk around the room with his buddies, look at the dance floor for a little bit with his buddies, and then finally get back to the main base where he's going to lock in for a little bit? He's already wrecked the entire room because he doesn't have social proof. He isn't pre-selected by women. He's not conveying that he's the leader of men. And
What you'll notice is the most attractive woman in this moves the least. It's one of those things, right? They show less, they move less, and they show less facial expressions. A lot of the times that's done subconsciously because they want to act smooth, right? A lot of the times they do that because they like the person. Sometimes, honestly, it's a little confusing, right? Because sometimes it's hard to tell. Well, honestly, when he talks to her, you'll notice that like she starts showing her real self. But when she's not being pressured, when you're not talking to her, she could fake the smoothness, right? Until you talk to her, she senses your value, and then all of a sudden, she start acting really feminine and showing interest.
the problem with that
I'm gonna
is
stop.
he already has lower value now. Instead, what he should do is when he goes into the public gathering, first sit on the left, open up a couple, a group with a couple girls in it, and after 3 minutes, you have to open, you have to build attraction. That's through systematic demonstrations of higher value, and the value, the value attraction switches are just pre-selected by other women, leader of men, protector of loved ones, and the willingness to emote. So they're not faking their smile the whole time. No, they can get pissed off at shit if someone steps on their toe, if someone spills their drink, and you realize, okay, his emotional circuitry is normal. right? If he can systematically demonstrate those 4 key qualities, then you will feel attraction for him. Attraction is not a choice. That's what those are the 4.
I'm gonna update that. What I think that he means is respect, right? Like when you respect someone, there's a certain aura that people have. Now, some women are gonna respect you and they're gonna be drawn to you, right? They might listen to you, but they may not necessarily have sex with you, right? They may not do that. But some women, when they respect you, they do sleep with you. That's a fact. But some women don't, right? So it's kind of like you could show all of those 4 switches. You could make sure that you flip them on, but that don't necessarily mean that she's gonna sleep with you because maybe she doesn't like guys your age. Maybe she's in a relationship. You get what I'm saying? So there's more factors than just getting all of those switches, but it does help. It does help. You can't be looking like a psycho and expect a woman to like you.
Demonstrations that a man must do. So how can he establish that when he goes into a public gathering? First set on the left, open up a 2 set. A 2 set is a group of 2 girls. Get them on your arms and say, come on, let's go make some friends. They'd be very willing to do that. Now you open up the next set. Let's say there's 2 guys in it and your target, the beautiful
This
girl.
works. I've done this.
Now that you have
This
women
works.
with you, you come pre-selected, so that's one of the attraction switches already being triggered in her mind. Also, you're disqualifying yourself from being considered a potential suitor to her because you got 2 girls in your arms already, so the 2 guys that are with her don't feel threatened by your approach, right? And they too feel that you must have value. You've already got 2 girls in your arms. Now, of course, you can then pawn off this girl to occupy that guy, pawn off this girl to occupy that guy, and you get the queen.
I've done that too, where there's a beautiful woman. I go out with my 2 friends. I get the girl to talk to that guy, get the girl to talk to that guy, and I'm like, hey, by the way, where you from? I'll lower my voice, by the way. You lower your voice. By the way, where you from? Makes her come closer to you. This shit works, but I'll be honest with you, I prefer guys meet women without clubs because my God, does it scar you emotionally? Like that shit scars.
Social dynamics.
Well, that's sneaky, dude. In a nutshell. Yeah, in a sense it is. Social dynamics.
Is it sneaky? Men naturally do this all the time. If I come to a public gathering with women with me, doesn't mean I'm going to have sex with them just because they want to have sex with me. Men of real value say no much more than they say yes. They have to. There are women out there that have sex a lot, right? Yeah. Well, there are also women out there that could have sex, but they say no more than they say yes. I personally believe that is quite a quality woman, right? Yes, they're beauty, but beauty is really common. Especially in San Diego. I lived in Hollywood for 7-8 years on and off. Beauty's very common. Hell, I dated a supermodel. I dated some people you may know. It's secondary, It's the personality that shines through that's really important. What's really rare is a great outlook, a great personality, a great energy.
That's a routine.
You got 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. Right, he was doing that to her. He was doing that to one with the black, right? Because she wasn't reacting to him, right? If you notice, she was actually kind of quiet. He threw a neg at her. Boom, reaction, right? Right. It's actually a really good line because it shows a woman that you have value, right? You say, beauty is common, right? Beauty, like you got to have a good outlook on life, a great personality. I'm not gonna tell you the third one because you might fake it, but anyways, like you do stuff like that, and a woman like her where she thinks like, "Oh, I'm so good looking," well, then that type of line really does get to her.
What's the third one we don't know?
My mother told me not to be rude to strangers.
I thought we weren't strangers.
I don't know you from a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
I thought we weren't strangers.
Here's a hole in the wall. Here's you.
Just be like that right now. Huh?
Here's a hole in the wall. Here's you. Same thing. But I am curious.
Mm-hmm.
I leave it at that. That's all you get.
That's what you get.
Okay.
If there's a way for a guy to demonstrate that he has value for a woman, it would be much better if he were to demonstrate it live than try to brag and tell the girl about it, right? So one way of doing that is by embedding your bragging spikes, or rather those 4 demonstrations of higher value, that you're pre-selected by women, that you're the leader of men, that you're the protector of your loved ones, your family, your friends, right? And finally, that you have a willingness to emote. If you can systematically convey those four key traits. Now, let's say you can't do it live, you don't have women with you at first. You could at least embed that into the stories that you're telling. Now, you don't want to say it directly to your target, because if you do, it'll feel like bragging from her perspective, right?
Dude, this is legit. Like it's really like it's kind of brilliant because he's talking about storytelling, and it's like a Trojan horse where you're not telling people I'm the shit, but you tell them through stories. And I find that to be brilliant. For example, if I want to show a woman that I have resilience, I can just talk about, oh yeah, I used to be addicted to MDMA and sex, or don't say that, but just say drugs, right? And yeah, man, like it was difficult, but you know what? I went to a meditation retreat. 10 days was the hardest thing I've ever done. And ever since then, I've been drug free. I go to AA, I attend those meetings, and to me, it's the number one priority, right? And you might think that's like to a person, like most people would say, "Holy shit, that's difficult," because one of the hardest things in life is to break addictions. Like breaking addiction is literally one of the hardest things in life. That's an example. Obviously, it's not a perfect example, right? But that's from my life. And the stories, if you keep it real, they're not going to be exactly perfect, but it'll communicate that you have some resilience.
So what you do instead is you throw what we call a neg. A neg is a statement or action one makes to briefly disqualify oneself from being considered a potential suitor. And by the man throwing that out first, the men will be disarmed knowing you're not after their friend, and the woman will be disarmed knowing that this guy isn't after me, which may actually feel a little weird to some women who get hit on quite a lot. What does he have? And curiosity is then planted. It's a good start.
And that's true. It's happened a lot. Challenge makes for a good date.
Mm-hmm.
You want what you can't have.
And that is the reason why when a woman gives you IOIs mean indicators of interest. If she gives you an indicator of interest, either one of the well, the subconscious ones are this one, the hair touch, right?
I've done it like 4 times now.
I know.
Like, yeah.
I'm well aware. Thank you. There are,
women like her are avoidant, right? Got women who are very difficult to get, but the reason why they're so attractive is because they struggle with intimacy. Like really, they struggle with expressing emotion. I sound like I'm judging her, but I worked in psychology, and I personally I'm kind of like that. And unfortunately, with women like these, you gotta like keep her at a distance and never fully show who you are because they're awkward with themselves. And so if you start being yourself, they also might feel insecure, right? And this game of pushing her away actually works better than how you deal with normal women. That's mystery for you guys. It may not be for everyone, but I'm telling you, I've done the things he says, in the club, and it works. Like it's the whole pawning thing. Shit, man, I'm telling you, man, that shit works. Hey, man, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to myforattraction.org and take care.
All right, guys, we're going to have a brief intermission so that I could tell you guys about our new bundle that we're doing where you guys can purchase all of my courses and get it at a discount. So this bundle is pretty much the bundle where you could just buy all of my courses. You could buy Nice Guy, which is a training course on how to come across more assertive, how to come across more confident, how to not give off nice guy vibes. You guys can get access to Dark Game, which is my full dating course on how to meet women in different scenarios, how to attract women, how to make sure you don't come across as creepy, and essentially how to act like a man and not act like a doofus, to be quite honest with you. And you get all of these bonuses, which is the bonuses of Dark Game, the bonuses of Practical Mastery, which is about how to master a skill, Social Mastery, which is how to master your social life, and the Laws of Human Nature, which is a book club video that I had dissecting Robert Greene's book. All of this is naturally at around naturally is at $346, but you guys can purchase this bundle and get it at what's the price again? Get it at $238 pretty much. So you guys can purchase it right now. It's a money back 30-day money back guarantee. It's a good way to, rather than just buying them individually and paying extra, you guys can just purchase everything at a discount price. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I'm giving you a lot of information at the same time. That makes me kind of scared because a lot of times people don't do the things that I teach when you get too much information. But I've gotten too many requests to do this, so I'm just satisfying you guys. Purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. All right, let's continue with the video.